A woman says these things and you do nothing.
Yes, Mr. Zapata. You will also find that a woman can say whatever she wants to about your performance in the bedroom, and you aren't actually allowed to kill her.
This is Law & Order Special Victims Unit. SVU is an American crime drama TV series created by Dick Wolf. It's part of the original Law & Order franchise, where some episodes have been ripped from the headlines of real-life crimes. Crime procedural, police crime drama, or otherwise known as cop shows, has been on air since the early years of TV, where cops are usually seen as heroes and the criminals are always bad.
Oh my God, I forgot about that part.
These portrayals reflecting the current times and prejudices of society, said the president of every cop show. There have been tons of cop shows throughout the years, ranging from comedy to drama to reality and back to comedy drama. From the Wild West sheriffs to the 21st century forensic experts, crime shows are the majority of scripted shows on network television. But what makes Law & Order SVU stand out from the rest? Could it be the quality of the storylines, the great character development, its informativeness, not to mention it's ironically comforting? Continue watching to find out.
It's kind of like a bad French film noir, isn't it? All these cops around in a circle, some silent, some leaning in with cynical quips.
SVU has had memorable characters whose lives are revealed in and out of the station, showing the balance of work and personal time. Each character is given their own episodes where the case is always the most important thing to them. But the audience also gets a chance to get more backstory and see their inner individual strength. And like any show, SVU has the same overdone character tropes. The bad boy, the strong female leads, the strict boss, and the sassy but witty characters.
Does dealing with sexual deviance every day affect me? The answer is no. Just ask my blow-up doll.
But the writers managed to go beyond the obvious TV tropes and make us love these characters and connect with them. Characters like Benson Tututola, played by Ice-T, who joined the show in its second season in 2000. When I saw my first episode of SVU and saw Ice-T, I thought it was so ironic that a rapper who hates cops was playing a cop.
Tonight we get even.
I thought it couldn't work, but the more episodes I watched, the more I thought how perfect he was for the role. Dick Wolf and the writers were able to create a character that was relatable to Ice-T's background, but also someone who could help show audiences what it's like being a black detective in the NYPD.
Acting like a cop or acting like a gangster is the exact same acting. They both have a gun, they both want answers, and there'll be some type of consequence if you don't. And the cop feels he can issue that, and so does the gangster. So I'm acting the exact same way. Like, when I'm interrogating somebody, I don't necessarily think I'm a cop. I'm just like, it's just like Ice-T back on the streets. You know something, and I need to know, or I'm gonna reach across this table and smack you.
Just being a show discussing rape makes it stand out on its own, when rape was so taboo in the early 2000s, especially when every cop show ever aired always handled homicide investigations, more bizarre than real cops actually see. Most SVU episodes follow the same structure. The discovery of the crime, in which the characters and the situation are introduced.
Help! God, please, somebody help!
Plot development, which includes the major turning points.
There was a shooting, PS 387 in East Harlem. 6-year-old girl died at the scene. They're bringing the shooter up now.
Why did we catch it?
Brass thinks we're better equipped to handle him.
Good, bring on the pervert.
In the aftermath, where the audience sees the results of the perpetrator's actions.
Get off me, man! Leave me alone! Can't kill a sister and just walk. Hey, come on, man! Leave me alone, man! I didn't do nothing, man!
With some recurring details, such as the dramatic looks between characters before commercials, and the special guest stars who are often the suspects. But this enables viewers to make educated guesses of the episode's perp without being predictable. But SVU is different. They're not afraid to break structure. There have been episodes that start off with one storyline and abruptly go into another completely different storyline that either is or isn't connected to each other, but it still maintains a good plot. It remains captivating and suspenseful without being overwhelming or over the top. Even the newer episodes are still open to experimenting with different structures that can still make viewers talk. But the very best thing to come out of the show is how comforting it is. The routine process of solving a case from start to finish gives viewers a sense of stability. It's a known entity with familiar characters and a pretty great formula where you can jump in and out of the episode, but you're still able to understand what's happening. It's a good way to distract ourselves from our worries without asking too much from us. The main cast is always really well acted, and I like the idea of watching a cop show that's not a fantasy show with unrealistic action shots, but one about justice and healing. As mentioned in an article by the New York Times, Special Victims Unit takes sex crimes seriously, but the show isn't a grueling, depressing experience. Honestly, it's a twisted subject matter, but it's well acted, and the idea that the justice system can and should help all kinds of victims is nice to see. Victims are taken seriously, and they're more likely to get justice in the show than in real life, which usually doesn't happen. Corrupt politicians and cops are actually held accountable for their actions, and oftentimes are arrested. It brings a little satisfaction of seeing evil people brought to justice, like an escape from reality with reality.
I feel bad for the amount of true crime that I consume, but to be fair, women, we don't watch true crime. Technically, we study it to make sure we don't end up on it.
The reason I continued watching Law & Order Special Victims Unit despite all else is because it's a great show. They incorporate controversial issues into each and every episode. Its characters are always entertaining but relatable, and honestly, I've learned a lot from watching this show. I mean, there's a reason they've been on air for 2 decades, but I'll just let you guys find out on your own. Thanks for watching.